Yo guys, welcome back to another video. Today we have another Chelsea news today video. Chelsea versus Man City tomorrow at 5:30. Match preview coming tomorrow, probably about lunchtime. But let me talk you through the stories of today. First one, Thomas Tuchel admiration for a typical Chelsea player points to a possible new deal, a new contract for a player in the Chelsea squad. Real Madrid will listen to any offers for Eden Hazard. Interesting. There's also another story about Champions League final probably going to be being played in Villa Park rather than Istanbul. I'd like to hear your opinions. We'll talk about that in a minute. And the last story is Chelsea join Mohamed Salah transfer race as Liverpool start added to 3-man shortlist. So starting off, I'm just going to say what I've heard. Turkey has been added to UK's red list, which means no one can go to that country due to COVID restrictions, and Manchester City and Chelsea are two English clubs, so they're not really meant to go to Istanbul. Also, fans from England won't be able to go there, so it would be a bit of a disappointment considering there wouldn't be many fans in the stadium at all. Well, no home fans, no fans from Manchester or Chelsea. It would just be like Turkish people, I guess. Which could be Chelsea and Man City fans, but a lot of the fans from Chelsea, that actually from England, would have probably bought tickets by now. And yeah, Aston Villa have offered to the FA or to UEFA to host the Champions League final at Villa Park in Birmingham. Now, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Personally, I want to say in 2027. Oh, do you remember that night in 2021 in Istanbul? Like we did, well, like we say, for Istanbul for what Liverpool did to AC Milan. I don't really want to say, do you remember that night in rainy Birmingham? Just doesn't really work, if you know what I mean. So I'd rather it be in Istanbul, but then you got to weigh up the consequences. Less fans, but actually in Europe, although England is in Europe, Chelsea and City are from England, so it kind of, I don't think it will feel like a Champions League final, if you know what I mean. And it's all been advertised to Istanbul. We're going to Istanbul, the final in Istanbul. It's not going to be in Istanbul, it looks like. Now, secondly, ever since Thomas Tuchel came in, Cesar Azpilicueta has played a lot more than he did under Frank Lampard, and that is much due to the formation change. He plays as a right centre-back in a 3 at the back for most of the time, but recently he has been playing as a right wing-back, interestingly. But under Frank Lampard, he only played as a right-back. I don't think he'd be a very good centre-back in a 4 at the back, but he was a decent right-back, very good defending. But Reece James is getting in front of him a lot more due to his attacking capabilities, and Frank Lampard just sort of left him out. But no worries, he is the club captain, and when Lampard left, Tuchel came in, he brought him in straight away, and I think he played like the first 10 games straight for Thomas Tuchel until he was rested against Barnsley or something. And I can't think of many games that he's missed. He's been an absolute workhorse. Is that the word I'm thinking of? He's been absolutely tirelessly running for every single ball, great at defending, and he is a true captain. And I think it's only fair for him to be able to lead Chelsea out into the Champions League final. Thomas Tuchel said in an interview that he's a huge factor to the success, a key factor and a key player for me at this club. He, for me, expresses everything that I think is typical for Chelsea. He's a fighter, he's a team player, he does not accept limits, he's always available, a top professional, and at the same time, a very nice guy. It's deep within him to be a team player, he's very self-aware, very self-reflective. It's a pure pleasure to have him in the group. Now, Azpilicueta only has 1 year left on his current deal, and other clubs are keen, as you would expect, because he's a great player. And although he is getting a little bit old, he's still only 31. But the fact that he's clearly a favourite of Thomas Tuchel kind of implies that he will probably be getting a new contract, probably this summer. And I don't think that he will be moving away from Chelsea until he starts not getting in the first team anymore. Or he might stay at Chelsea for the rest of his career. Real Madrid are ready to start listening to offers Eden Hazard after apparently losing patience to him, according to Marca. Now, Eden Hazard did not have a very good game against Chelsea. I wouldn't be surprised if he played bad on purpose, because I don't know. Of course he wouldn't do that, but he is a very good player, and he's just according to his performances and attitude, Zidane is ready to offload the winger. And considering they only brought him in 2 years ago for a hefty £150 million, they're going to have to accept a cut price deal if they want to lose him. or get rid of him and free up funds to maybe sign Kylian Mbappe. Now, Hazard did find himself in a little bit of a pickle after the Champions League semi-final, as he did just finish the game. The rest of the Real Madrid team were pretty disappointed and angered that they lost and they didn't play too well. And then the next thing you saw was Eden Hazard laughing and joking with Edouard, Mendy and Kurt Zouma. And he almost seemed ecstatic that Chelsea got into the final. Now, according to the report, the decision to offload Hazard has not been influenced by him laughing and smiling with former Chelsea teammates. But I don't know. I think his whole attitude towards Real Madrid hasn't been brilliant. But he is obviously a brilliant player. And he has been very, very unlucky with injuries. And I think they also said that if he has one more operation on his right ankle, he'll have to retire because his ankles can't cope with it. Now, the reason I'm putting this in this video is, could Chelsea be tempted to maybe go for Eden Hazard? It'd be a big move. It'd be a big statement. But would Chelsea need him? I don't know. But would he be back to his best at Chelsea? Could he go back to the Eden Hazard we know and love, the one that won PFA Player of the Years, most assists, most goals, the absolute tricky winger that could make goals and win games through absolutely nothing? And I think he would absolutely flourish in this team with Mason Mount, Timo Werner, Havertz, Christian Pulisic, the midfielder Kante, Jorginho, Kovacic. I think it's a difficult one. It is a difficult one. He has not been very good at Real Madrid. And he's literally only had 2 years there and he's done not much at all. However, I don't really know any other teams that would be interested in signing Eden Hazard. I don't know where else he would go. Maybe to France, to PSG. I could see that happening. Does he speak French? He's Belgian, but they speak a few languages in Belgium. I think German, Netherlands, or Dutch and French they will speak there. But it would be interesting to see if he can help Madrid across the line to win La Liga, and if he can ever get back to his old form. Now, lastly, the most interesting one, the biggest story of today. According to reports, Mohamed Salah is on Chelsea's list of summer targets. Now, the 28-year-old has been heavily linked with a move away from Anfield ahead of this season after refusing to commit the Merseyside club on a number of recent occasions. He's not been good this season. Well, he has been good. He has been good. He's been absolutely brilliant. I think the fact that Liverpool and that whole front three haven't been working in unison particularly kind of brings his season almost down a little bit. But if you look at the stats, he's right up there in top scorers. He's right up there in top assisters. And he is a very good player. Back in December, Salah appeared to suggest that he would be interested in a new challenge, revealing in an interview with AS that he sees Real Madrid and Barcelona as top clubs, and that insisting that his future is in Liverpool's hands. The Egyptian winger seems to be playing with the media, as he said. You simply have to wait and see what happens with regards to next season and beyond. But he does have a contract until 2023, so I don't think there would be much in there. But I don't see him staying further than that. Now, we all know how Liverpool tend to go with business. They sell one player and replace them with a similar player with the same amount of money. We saw it with, or probably, my example was going to be Philippe Coutinho, but they went and bought Van Dijk and Alisson with the money they bought, with the money they got for him. But they're a team that sell players to replace. And they may want to reshuffle with their front three by selling Mohamed Salah and maybe bringing in a new winger like Jadon Sancho. But according to reports, Thomas Tuchel sees Mohamed Salah as a good option to play in our front three. Now, of course, Mohamed Salah is an ex-Chelsea player who played at Chelsea between 2014 and 2016, but struggled to hold down a spot in the side and then went to Roma before coming back to England to Liverpool for, I think, £35 million. What a good bit of business that was. But I heard a lot of players talking about the fact that Salah was such a good individual and he was so important, and he's one of the best players in training. But on the pitch, he just couldn't replicate the form. And I don't know if that was because he got nervous before the games, but especially now with no fans, it would have been brilliant for him. But he's done it with fans as well. So I guess after some psychology lessons or something, he's learned that and he's figured out that he is a good player. And he definitely wouldn't be short of admirers if he was to leave Liverpool this summer. Now, that is all for today. Thank you very much for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new on here. Watch out for my match preview tomorrow. I'd really appreciate it if you check that out. Yeah, thanks for watching and goodbye.